Welcome back to Studio Sydney Pilates. Today I have a 25-minute abs and lower body workout focused on toning and building functional strength. We'll be using one weight. I'm using a 15-pound weight, but anywhere from 5 to 15 works, or you can just do this with body weight only. The movements are functional and intentional, targeting our glutes, thighs, hamstrings, deep core, and obliques. We'll be moving through slow, controlled reps, so we will feel the burn, but we're going to be building strength effectively. Grab your mat and your weight if you're using it today, and let's get started. Start today standing, feet hip-width distance apart. If you're holding your weight, you can keep it nice and close to the chest. On the inhale, we'll come down nice and low, like you're sitting in a chair, coming as close to 90 degrees at the knee joint as possible. And then on the exhale, root down into the heels to rise all the way back up. Each time we come up, let's squeeze the quads, tuck the tailbone under, make sure the crown of the head is to the sky. And then as we come down in our squat, we keep the back nice and flat, hinge at the hips, chest to the floor. Again, can we come down nice and low? If we can, all the way to 90 degrees at the knees. And again, really rooting down into the heels as we rise, tucking the tailbone under, squeezing the glutes at the top. Inhale to lower and exhale to rise. Restacking the spine each time. Keep the chest open here. We want to keep the scapula, the shoulder blades towards neutral. So bringing the shoulder blades towards the spine to keep the chest proud. Here, we're going to go into our reverse lunges. So still holding that weight if you're using it, bringing that left leg out in front of us first, and then take a big step back, dropping that back knee down onto the mat behind you, and coming into a deep reverse lunge, and then drive in through that right heel to come all the way back up. We're using our core here to stabilize and find balance on the way down and on the way up. Keeping the sternum in line with the pubic bone so we keep symmetrical from waist up. Inhale to lower and exhale to drive through the front heel, bringing that leg back out in front of us. When we come back up, I want you to think of tucking the tailbone under here as well. Almost think of like lengthening through that right hip flexor and quad as we come up, crown of the head to the sky. And again, keeping the back flat all the way through. We just hinge at the hips when we come down into our lunge. And then again, crown of the head to the sky as we come back up. Good, finding balance. And from here, we're gonna go into our reverse lunge pulses. So on the inhale, dropping that back knee down onto the mat. Exhale to fully extend that back leg all the way up. We keep the heel lifted. I want you to squeeze through that left glute and quad, through that back glute and quad as we extend all the way, and then inhale again, we tap the knee back down. Really driving in through that front heel, so we're feeling that right glute turn on, right quad turn on. Inhale to lower, exhale to rise. Awesome work. And let's come all the way back up. Let's do everything on the other side. So again, starting with the right leg out in front of us, finding balance as we step back, big step back into our reverse lunge. Exhale, drive in through that front heel, through the left heel to rise. Crown of the head to the ceiling, and tucking the tailbone under as we come back up to standing. We're here for 60 seconds as well. Again, keeping the back flat, keeping the chest open here. Again, think about drawing those shoulder blades back so we keep the chest proud. Awesome work. We're about halfway done on this side. Awesome work. And then coming into those reverse lunge pulses, So starting in that reverse lunge, we're gonna drop the knee down to the mat, right down to the mat, and then exhale, root down into that front heel as we extend the back leg all the way up. So I wanna see a little squeeze through that right glute and quad at the top, and then inhale, tap the knee down quickly. And again, rooting down into that front heel. So we should feel both the back quad and the front quad working here. Making sure we're displacing that weight, rooting down into the front heel. Almost there. Awesome work. For the next block of class, we're gonna come onto all fours. So coming into a tabletop position with your wrists underneath your shoulders and your knees underneath your hips. Keep the toes tucked under, feet hip width distance apart, and then drawing navel to spine. On the exhale, we're gonna lift the knees to hover off of the mat, and then inhale, tap the knees down just for a quick second. Exhale, lift them right back up. And each time we rise, again, I want you to think navel to spine here. So imagine like someone's trying to poke you from underneath, poke your belly button, and we have to sort of draw up and in. So that's engaging through our TVA, our transversus. Another cue is zipping up that zipper, drawing up and in, or like you're doing up a corset. So we're actively engaging through that muscle that wraps around the core as we lift the knees up. So wrapping through the core, draw up and in through the pelvic floor. Last 20 seconds here. Awesome work. From here, we're gonna let the knees hover to start directly underneath the hips, and then extend the legs straight back into a full plank. Inhale, bend the knees, bring the knees back under the hips just to hover, and then extend the legs straight back. We're keeping this slow and controlled, trying to keep the hips as still and as square as possible. Obliques working to prevent rotation through the hips and the spine. We inhale as we bend the knees, letting the knees hover. Exhale to extend the legs, squeeze the quads, tuck the tailbone under as we extend back into that full plank. Inhale to bend, exhale, extend. Keeping the back of the neck long, gaze just above the hands, and pressing down into the heels of the hands like you're trying to push the floor away from you. Last 20 seconds. Woo, awesome work. Keeping the knees underneath the hips, we're gonna come down now onto the elbows. So the elbows are stacked under the shoulders, tuck the toes under, feet hip width distance, and again, we're gonna lift the knees to hover. Inhale to lower. This time the hips are gonna come higher than shoulder height. Inhale, we just tap the knees down just for a quick second. And again, I want you to think navel to spine here. That's your focus, engaging through the TVA as we lift the knees up to hover. Doing up that zipper, tightening, engaging through the core, like someone's about to poke your belly button, or like there's fire under the belly. We have to draw up and in. Last 30 seconds here. Awesome work. From here, going back to that hover, knees start hovering underneath the hips. On the exhale, we're gonna extend the legs back to an elbow plank. Lower the hips down so we have a nice long line through the body, extending the legs, squeezing the quads. And then again, inhale as we bend the knees and let them hover, knees under hips. Again, as you extend the legs, we lower the hips to the floor, creating a nice long line, and then the hips lift as we bend the knees, knees hovering directly underneath the hips. Again, lower the hips, tuck the tailbone under into your plank each time, and just hold that for a quick second or half a second there in that plank as you tuck the tailbone under and squeeze the quads. Awesome, we're almost there, 20 seconds. And then we're done with the plank block, I promise. Woo, awesome work. Let's drop the knees, sit the hips back. Let's just take a few breaths here in child's pose just to recover. When you're ready, coming back up to tabletop, we're gonna grab that weight again, if you're using it, and place it behind the back of the knee. So around the back crease of the knee. So we'll start with the right knee, wrist directly underneath the shoulders. Back is staying flat in neutral, hips square, and then we're gonna go into our donkey kicks here. Keep the foot flexed here as we lift that foot up to the sky, opening up through that right hip joint. We squeeze the glute at the top, and then inhale, control down to lower. So don't let the knee just drop down to the floor. Control in both directions. Exhale, heel to the sky. Make sure we're getting that full hip extension for the full glute engagement. You're also gonna feel your left glute here as well to stabilize, and that's normal. And your hips are gonna stay square. So using your obliques to keep the hip bone square, obliques working to prevent rotation. And again, we're pressing into the mat, pressing the hands into the mat like we're pressing the floor away from us. And I just want you to make sure that we're pressing equally into the 3 limbs that have contact with the floor. So rooting down into that right knee and the hands equally. Awesome. From here, we're gonna find little pulses. So lift that leg back up to the sky. We're gonna point through the right toe, reach your left arm forward, and then we're gonna find those little pulses at the top. Exhale to squeeze that glute at the top like you're trying to poke the ceiling. Again, obliques really working here to stabilize and keep the hips square, back flat. Now we have that left arm reaching, so a lot more work here on the core to stabilize. We're feeling sweaty. Awesome, keep those hips square, keep the torso still. Almost there, last couple seconds. And release. Awesome work. Keep the weight where it is. We're going to bring that left hand back underneath the left shoulder, and let's go into our fire hydrant. So bringing that knee right out to the side, directly out to your right, and back in. The knee stays in line with the other knee, so we're not flexing or opening the hip joint at all. We're just opening the knee out, abducting the knee away from the midline of the body. And again, we're gonna feel our obliques a little bit more here because as the weight of the leg moves out to the side, we have more weight that's away from the midline of the body. So more work through the obliques. It's a longer lever. Again, the weight is coming away further from the midline of the body. So a lot more core work here to stabilize through the hips. Exhale to open, inhale to bring it in. Focus on keeping the hips still, engaging through that core to stabilize. And we're gonna find those pulses again, reaching the left arm forward, and we pulse that knee out to the side for 30 seconds here. Keep the core on, navel to spine, finding stability through the torso as we pulse. We're about halfway there. You've got this. I know it's getting sweaty here. Last 10 seconds. Keep reaching that arm up to the sky, using our back muscles to lift. Woo, awesome work. Let's take that weight, bring it behind the left knee, and we'll do everything on the other side. So again, starting with the wrist directly underneath the shoulders, pressing the mat away from you. We'll keep that left foot flexed as we drive the heel to the ceiling, opening up through that left hip, squeezing the left glute at the top. Inhale, control to lower down. Exhale, lift and squeeze sole of the foot to the sky. Halfway there. Again, just checking that we're still keeping hips square. We're trying to press equally through the right knee and both the hands. Awesome work. Almost there. Really try to actively engage through that left glute as we lift. And from here, again, finding those pulses. So we keep the leg up, reach that right arm forward, and we find those little pulses up for 30 seconds. Let's point through that toe, keeping the hips square. Good, last 20 seconds here. Whew, awesome work. Let's come to our fire hydrant. So again, wrist stacked under the shoulders, press the floor away from you. More oblique work here as we bring that left knee out to our left side, so away from the midline. Our focus again is on keeping hips square. So noticing those obliques working to prevent against rotation. We squeeze that left glute up the top. And of course, we're going to feel the right glute here to stabilize. Fire hydrants a bit more for the stabilizing work through the core and the stabilizing glute in line with the pubic bone, mobilizing glute, keeping the left glute right now. So we're not. I always find that the right glute medius, which is a stabilizer muscle on the leg that's on the floor, the right glute med, and the obliques are going to feel it the most here. Good. Exhale to lift, inhale to bring it back in. We're almost there, last 15 seconds. Awesome. And from here, let's find those little pulses, reaching right arm forward and pulsing that left knee out to the side. Just tiny little movements. Can we keep them controlled though? Again, finding stability through the body, through the torso. Inhale through the nose, exhale navel to spine. Last 10 seconds, we've got this. Woo! Awesome work. Let's bring that weight out and then just sit our hips back and come into a shell stretch, just taking a bit of recovery here. And coming back up, whew, feeling sweaty. Coming into our side plank here. So we're gonna have the right elbow underneath the right shoulder. We're gonna stagger the legs. So your top leg, your left leg is gonna stay in front of the right. And then reaching that left hand up to the sky. On the exhale, we're gonna lift the hips up, lengthening through the spine. So finding our nice side plank with the hips up, and then inhale, side flex through the body to lower the hips through the floor. So the movement is lateral flexion or side flexion through the spine. So we drop the hips down to come into side flexion and then lift the hips right up, lengthening back out through the spine. 10 more seconds here. We've got this. Exhale to rise. Inhale to lower, root down into the feet as well, not just the arm. Okay, so really press down into the feet, lift the hips up nice and high, and let's find little pulses up here. We're only here for 30 seconds, tiny little pulses, up an inch, down an inch, last 20 seconds, you've got this. Woo! I know we're feeling it. Root down into the feet, lift the hips nice and high, last 10 seconds. We're gonna do this. We've got it. We've got it. Our body can do it. And release. Woo, let's do everything on the other side. So just 30 seconds of each. Lower and lift, full range, and then the pulses. So again, coming onto left elbow directly under shoulder, reach your right hand to the sky. Right foot in front of left. Exhale, we lift the hips up nice and high. Inhale, we lower, hips come to the floor. Exhale to lift, finding length through the spine. Lift those hips nice and high, root down into the feet. Really press down into the feet as we lift the hips. Inhale to lower, awesome work. Give me 10 more seconds here. And let's find those little pulses at the top, tiny little pulses here, inching up and down. We can do this. We can do 20 more seconds of anything. We have got this. Last 10 seconds. Let's keep those hips high. Lift, lift, lift. Woo, we are done. Definitely feeling the obliques there. We're gonna come on to our backs now and work in through our core some more. So lying down on your back, supine, we're gonna have the feet down on the floor, hip width distance apart. Finding our neutral pelvis, neutral spine, so tailbone heavy, we have that natural arch in our mid to low back. And then we're gonna grab onto our weight if you're using it today. If you're not, you can still work through this exercise. And on the exhale, we're gonna bring the weight back behind our head, drawing the ribs down and in, engaging through our TA. So inhale to reach the hands up to the sky. Exhale to bring the weight back behind us. So we will be working a bit of the lats here and pecs, but I want your focus for this exercise to be on your TVA engagement. So that muscle that wraps around the body. As we bring that weight back behind us, we're really intentional about our exhale as we draw up and in through the pelvic floor, navel to spine, contracting through the abdominals, and then again, inhale to reach the weight up above us. Exhale to reach back. And inhale to reach up. You can still do this exercise without the weight. Obviously, it's a bit easier just to connect into the core and hide the ribs without the weight. So the weight just adds a little bit of extra challenge here on the core. And again, think about that wrapping like someone's doing up a really, really tight corset as we reach the weight back, hiding the rib cage, contracting through the core here. From here, we're gonna layer in a crunch and bring the legs up to tabletop. So maintaining imprint now, tucking the tailbone under, lower back to the mat. On the exhale, same thing. We're gonna bring that weight, our hands back behind us. Inhale, hands to the sky. Exhale, crunch. Ribs to hips, chin to chest, weight to the sky as we crunch. Inhale, lower, exhale to reach back. So we do this on a 4-breath pattern. Exhale, crunch, inhale, lower, exhale, reach back, inhale, reach to the sky. Exhale, crunch, inhale, lower, exhale, reach back, inhale, weight to the sky. And again, when you're doing that crunch, I want you to think ribs to hips here, shortening through the front of the body, chin to chest, protect the front of the neck. And again, maintaining that strong imprint. And same as our last exercise, when you reach that weight back behind you, draw the ribs in, connect into the core, and then again, exhale, reach. Awesome work, last 10 seconds here. Awesome, let's bring that weight to the side. We're gonna end off with a bit of an ab burner finisher today. So we're gonna bring the hands behind the head, elbows nice and wide, shoulder blades flush to the mat. So shoulder blades together, chest open. Find imprint, extend the legs straight up to the sky, and then we're gonna do little crisscrosses. So left over right, right over left, little quick crosses. And we're gonna open the hips to lower the feet to the floor and then flex the hips to bring the feet to the sky. Can we keep that quad engagement, maintain imprint? So tucking the tailbone under and doing really quick crosses with the legs. Point the toes. Maybe we can slightly externally rotate from the hips. So toes out, heels in. Squeeze those quads, tuck the tailbone under. We inhale as we bring the feet to the sky. We exhale as we lower the legs to the floor. Again, TVA engagement as we wrap up and in through the core, navel to spine. Halfway there. Checking in, making sure those elbows stay heavy, chest stays proud. Tuck the tailbone under, exhale. As we lower the legs, again, we wrap up and in through the core, preventing that bulging through the front of the body. And keeping those quads engaged, toes pointed. Can we get nice and low to the floor? Awesome work. We are done our session today. Let's hug our knees into the chest. Awesome work today. We definitely built a lot of strength through our core and lower body. Let's draw some circles with the knees in each direction. And switch up the direction. And then placing your right foot on the floor, cross your left foot over the right thigh. We'll just open up with that left knee opening up through the hip. And other side, crossing right ankle over left thigh, just opening up through that right hip. And then finding a nice spine twist, reach your arms back behind you and just let the knees windshield wipe from side to side. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to subscribe. I post 1 to 2 workouts per week. And if you have any recommendations for the next workout, please leave it in the comments. Thank you, everyone. Have a great day.